We continue our conversations with all 17 of the candidates on the ballot for Denver mayor with Robert Treta. He's a contractor and a builder. Welcome to Next.
Thank you.
So you've said that Denver can do a much better job building housing, which is what you do. So let's talk about that. You've said that that Denver has the opportunity to build units for the homeless. Is this something that you want to get hands-on with? You want to just tell other people how to do it? How do you envision this? Because you talk a lot about it.
Well, we all know that we have this huge homeless problem that's not getting solved. And it's bound to get much worse. So I'm coming up with a realistic plan to build 16 by 16 units for the homeless, $25,000 each. I'm going to turn the homeless into homeowners. I could do 7,000 units in 1 year. I just need the opportunity to do it,
When you say you could do it, again, this sounds like you want to get hands-on with this.
Well, yeah, I do. I want to be look at what's going on at the airport. It's hugely over budget. The time frame is doubled for the construction over there. I want to run this project as one of my duties as mayor. So I want to shepherd this thing throughout, and I want to make sure it's done right and it's on schedule and it's on cost.
Would you put all these units in one place, a bunch of different places?
I would. And I'm open to renegotiating the annexation agreement with Adams County. I think the first step is removing the homeless from downtown and putting them out near the airport. There's the A line out there. I think we need to renegotiate the land use agreement with Adams County and work with Adams County. Adams County has a problem itself, and we need to pool together and solve this.
So you would envision somewhere out and around DIA where you would build a number of these units?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So a question that I've asked of all of the candidates in the race, would you then forcibly clear the encampments in the city?
Yeah. Within 60 days, I will provide a legalized camping zone probably out near DIA with electricity and portalets. In 60 days, I'll have that done, and we can start relocating the homeless to legalized camping zones until the construction project can get on its way.
And then the tough part becomes when somebody says, no, I'm not going to go. And I've asked the candidates, are you willing to arrest somebody, if that's what it comes to get them out of encampments downtown? What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, nobody's going to say no. These are 16 by 16 private bathroom, private kitchen dwellings. And they're powered by solar. I mean, that's the bonus of the whole thing. $120 a month finances the municipal bonding that I'm proposing to finance the whole thing. $4 a day. It can be done. I will do it. I don't think you bring anybody to this and somebody's going to say, yeah, I want one of these. When I get off from work, I go undercover with the homeless. I'm just a little bit dirtier than I am now. And I ask them what they need. They need 4 walls and a roof. And everything starts with that. Housing first, and if it's done right, that's the right approach. We need to get on that.
Push comes to shove and somebody won't go. Do you think that it's appropriate to use law enforcement power to arrest somebody, to compel somebody to move? Or would you would? Okay.
Well, 60 days.
Yep.
60 days enforcement will be on. It won't be legal, and it will be enforced not to camp on the streets any longer.
City has a months-long backup in permitting for building projects. You probably know that better than the other candidates. How do we fix the permitting mess?
One of the biggest surprises about this running for mayor is the arrogance among some of these candidates that they say they're going to fix the building permitting issue. They've never pulled a building permit in their life. I've been doing it for 27 years. I know how to do it. My very first building permit I pulled down here is 1997. It was 1-day process. I know how to reverse the clock and fix it. The building department needs a complete overhaul. I don't think this was getting any attention until I announced my candidacy. And now all of a sudden you have these people, Andy Rousseau, all these people saying, oh, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to fix it. Well, they didn't even know it was a problem like a month ago. It's insane.
So how do you fix it?
Oh, you get engineers of record to be on the hook for the project. The building department gets relegated to a zoning-only permitting process. Okay, it's very easy. None of the structural drawings will be submitted to the building department. That will all be done with the engineer of record. Any engineer of record that wants to do business in the city and county of Denver will register, so they know, some of the guidelines and some of the Denver amendments. It's that easy, Kyle.
So they effectively have to vouch for the project then instead of city inspections?
Well, and they absolutely do when they stamp the project. But the way the city has gotten involved in all these projects, it's insane. It is crazy that they do this. I asked a zoning review person how long it takes when they get eyes on a project, how long it takes, like a single-family house, for example, how long that takes him, without taking a coffee break or anything. He told me 20 minutes. So 20 minutes of plan review, we're waiting 14 months. This makes no sense. If I could build it in 7 and I have to wait 14, the city's almost put me out of business 3 times. I've been complaining about this for 15 years. The costs are getting rolled into the consumer. We wonder why affordable housing is so expensive in Denver. This is just one of the things. I've got many other things I can go over and tell you why.
You've said that the fair election funding is wrong and needs to be eliminated. You tried to get that funding, and then you didn't qualify for it, and now you think it's wrong?
Yeah, because when I first announced, they gave me a deadline of February 13th, okay?
They moved the deadlines in the middle of the race. Yep, we reported on that.
Yeah. You had me on one program previously. It's another program that's being run wrong. I mean, they give you a deadline. I geared my whole candidacy around February 13th to qualify for fair election funding. At the 11th hour, they changed the rules. City Council voted on it, and they didn't give any good reason for it either. It was something about overlapping the debate schedule or something that didn't make any sense to me. But all I know is that, Debbie Ortega approved that, and she's one of the candidates. It's a total conflict of interest. It's insane that it's even happening. I can't believe it.
What do you think about the conversations around crime in this race? Do you think they're overblown? Do you think that they're well-founded? And what would you do as mayor to address crime?
Well, I think you take care of the homeless, and you take care of a lot of things. You take care of affordable housing. You take care of a lot of things. You send less homeless people onto the streets. Naturally, you start to, the byproducts of not having homeless people on the streets is, you're going to start eliminating a lot of these things naturally. Crime is one of them. Housing, being unstable in your housing situation breeds domestic violence, crime. There's so many things. The list goes on and on and on. And I think, you have to back up the train and figure out what went wrong. A lot of these candidates won't even tell you what went wrong because they don't know what went wrong. Now they say they're going to fix it. I'm not buying it.
So Denver police have an authorized strength of about 1,600 officers. They're short several hundred officers that they're trying to hire.
Yeah.
Do you think that we need to enlarge the force strength beyond the 1,600, just hire back up to that number, have fewer police? What do you think?
I think more.
More than the 1,600?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I think we can also be doing a lot better job and not focusing so much on hiring a diverse police force. Our safety should come before anything. I have a feeling that there's certain things getting in the way of, Denver police have a recruitment problem. And they also want to recruit a very diverse police force. I get it. I agree with it, but not in front of our safety. That doesn't work with me. And this vehicle theft, this is just insane what's going on. People steal cars and there's no consequences. They don't follow up, they don't investigate, and they don't do anything. It needs to end.
So you think that more cops on the beat would solve that? You're not arguing against diversity in DPD, but you think that has to do with their hiring problems?
Oh, yeah. I believe so.
In what way?
I can't prove it, but I've talked to some people trying to get into DPD and have a feeling that they're just not the right person they're looking for. And I don't see how that's happening. I see really good recruits going in. So I can't prove that. It's just a feeling of mine. But we need to hire more police officers. And, we need to have it. We can't wait any longer.
One last question for you, bigger picture, about temperament. Denverite reports that you heckled fellow candidate Chris Hansen as he was leaving a debate with his children. You also got into a verbal altercation with students outside of our debate at MSU Denver. How will you handle the challenges of being mayor and those pressures if you're losing your cool during the campaign?
Okay. The kid was throwing things at me, Kyle. I don't put up with that with anybody. I don't know how old this kid was. He appeared to be drunk, intoxicated, and maybe on something else. I simply don't put up with that kind of stuff. If somebody's throwing stuff at me, I'm not going to just ignore it. I'm going to put an end to it. As far as heckling goes, I think the number one qualifier for heckling is being interruptive. I was not being interruptive. I was simply exercising my free speech in a parking lot. But if somebody comes up to me and starts trying to talk over me and throwing things at me, yeah, I'm going to say something. And that's the kind of mayor I'm going to be.
So that's the kind of mayor you're going to be. So you're going to take after your opponents in parking lots when they're with their kids?
Well, no, I didn't know Chris was going to be with his kid, But the thing is with Chris, he talks about, being this environmentalist. He does not lead by example. He doesn't drive EVs. I see what he does. I didn't know that was his kids. I don't follow these candidates, okay?
Well, you followed him close enough to know what he drives.
Well, I happen to know what he drove because at another interview, I saw that with a bumper sticker on it, and I was like, wow, he doesn't drive an EV. But then he wants the whole city and county of Denver to go EV? That's wrong. So I don't follow leaders that don't lead by example.
Robert Treta, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.